Okay, so this is actually really easy to do. I don't know how you have your workflow triggering for. Sorry, let me make this smaller. Jesus. Um, I don't know how you have your workflow triggering for the inbound call. If you have a post call webhook going out, or if you're doing some sort of tagging or something like that. I guess I could look at the post, but all you have to do is super easy on the chat side. So however you're triggering it on inbound, I'll leave that kind of out of the picture and up to you. What you can do is just use an active tag. So if you haven't used the chat side of the assistant before, um, how a number is the voice's way to communicate and understand communication with a human, the active tag works in the same way, but for chat, right? So in the workflow, you don't really have to quote unquote initiate the chat, or you don't have to like turn on the chat. Um, in a way, you can use tags dynamically, and these are done via active tags. And what these do basically is there's a correlation between the tag and the assistant. So, for example, I have this one that's webinar bot. That's a tag in GoHighLevel. Whenever that tag is on a contact webinar bot, then this webinar assistant is going to communicate in an SMS conversation there. So if I go, I don't know, let's go to my number. I think that's the right number. Yeah, that's the right number. Okay. So you can see here, I have my active tag. So I went here and created in here my active tag. It's somewhere in here. Haley Activate. There you go. Which leads back to our main AI, Haley Activate. So now when I go to send a message to this AI right here, then it'll respond with Haley Activates Assistant, main lead AI. And if we're doing this off of an inbound call, this is probably really long. Sorry, it's really late here. Um, this is how I'd probably do it. So you could do a post call webhook. You could just do a tag because we do have the tags answered, unanswered, and all the dispositioning tag. You can use the simple calling snapshot for that. I just suggest just doing a tag trigger here. So we're always going to tag the contact whether it was answered or unanswered. So my trigger here could actually be, I don't know why my camera is acting crazy. It could be contact tag added is answered. Okay. And I could also trigger it here. So that's covering our answered. Contact tag added. I think it's unanswered. It's probably super not professional of me. I think it's not answered. Let me confirm this real quick too before I tell you wrong info. This is all over the place. It is not answered. So the reason I'm doing this here is not answered added and answered is added. And this is a cheap or free way to trigger a post call flow because at the end of every call, inbound or outbound, web call too, we will trigger or we will tag the contact with answered or no answers. This is a good way to trigger the workflow. Anyways, you may already have this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to send a text to person. Say, hey person, let's do contact dot first name. Thanks so much for taking my call. You want to go grab lunch tomorrow on me? All right. Then we have our follow-up SMS here. And then what I could do, it doesn't really matter where you add it. Probably right here, the sooner the better, right? We're going to add contact tag, and we're going to add our active tag here. So whatever tag you set aside as your active tag, right? So I have Haley Activate here. Or you could just create a tag and do all the stuff here. I guess I'll go through that too. New sales tag. You see that is right here. And then I can link that to an assistant. Let's do Luxury Transportation Academy. And then Lux Academy. Let's add that on there. Okay. So this is my active tag now. And when this tag is on a contact and that contact reaches out to us, Lux Transportation Academy is going to respond. You can see how dynamic this can be too for any campaigning you do in the future. So now I'm going to come here, and you see it was already adding GHL for me. I'm going to add my active tag. So now the cadence here is when a call finishes via a tag trigger, because it's going to be added on there, we're going to add the relevant AI after the call. This could be another AI. This could be the same AI. It could be however you want to campaign this. And then we're going to send that message. And this is all it needs to be right here. Because when the lead comes here to respond, the active tag will be on there and then the bot will respond. You can even do some follow up and all, but test inbound call flow here. All right, publish. It's probably terrible for me to add to production. Someone may call in or whatever, but let's go back to this 770 number just to kind of give you an example here. And that's the proper one right here. And now I'm going to call in just any of my AI. I'll turn off my active tags here so you can see that. And let's call in to, I don't know, this one. So let's do 470 287 8038.
Hi there. This is Alex from Premier Home Renovations. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me today. I'm here to help you explore your renovation ideas and see how we can bring your vision to life. To get started, could you tell me what type of renovation project you're interested in?
Sure.
Maybe a kitchen?
Thank you. Anyways, call ends, right? Even though it was inbound, technically it's answered. So the call comes through. We're tagged with answered. You'll see these tags automatically added. I don't know if we have the snapshot on. We may have the snapshot on that removes all the tags and everything. But you can see answered there, right? Which triggers that flow, and you see Lux Academy is on there now. So I get a text on my phone. I say, sure. Let's respond. And so now, in my inbox here, when that comes through, now my AI is going to take it over. It's super, super easy flow. However you want to do it there for, different assistant from the one that you have, whatever. But anyways, this is probably a super long video, but I do want to be kind of thorough here on how easy it can be to just use those tags. And then you can see the AI is jumping in here and responding to me via chat. So there you go.